Like, can you go? Just go for a second. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're on. All right. Welcome to your 1212 portal. Lots going on. We got that Trinity. So let's just go ahead and step into it. Now, I love the fact that our number kin matches with the 3. Welcome to Be So Light. My name's Felicia, as well as known as the Galactic Spiral Light Priestess Makala. So here we have the Blue Electric Knight, and it's the 1212 portal. Now we know with the 12s we are dealing with the Trinity energy. This is great time to get started and move into some places where we need to just dive deeper into the trinities of ourselves. So I have here, it says Blue Electric Knight. I activate in order to dream, bonding, intuition. I seal the input of abundance with the electric tone of service. I'm guided by the power of accomplishment. The color is blue. Look. Planet is Saturn. The chakra is solar plexus, and the earth family is signal. So no rune message. There are time space beneath the levels of our threshold of perception, and there are time space beyond our thresholds or levels of perception. So Sirius B52, we have that hyperplasmic enlightenment energy. A lot is happening right here at the top of the head. Number 7. We have also the 9th dimension inner core time. Now, let's just talk about how fast this is going. Okay, I just took you into the 5th moon. Okay, we just talked about it. We're done. Okay, so now this is the last day of this moon, of this cycle right here. So now we're going to step tomorrow into the rhythmic moon of equality, December 13th through January 9th. So we're going to be in organized and balance and equality. Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of sketching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul will help immensely. Our animal totem is lizard. Da, da, da. Yeah, but take a look at this picture. This is for tomorrow. This is where we start tomorrow. Kind of has that, like a little bit of a, I want to say, but if you look at, oh, okay, I look at it again because there's 3 faces there. There's one on the bottom, these 2 here. Then the one thing that's coming off, it looks like kind of like a snake tail, like a Skeletor snake tail. So maybe a braid. Maybe it's a braid. Almost looks like snake tail, like bone, but it looks braid too. And spirals. Speaking of spirals, so today had to go up the hill. I said, let me just go up the hill. We're going to go up the hill and get these codes. Got lit up with some codes. Drove all the way down the freeway. Went up into Auburn. Boom. Sunlight. Blue skies. Nothing. No fog. Nothing. Beautiful. That's the picture of the sun I took. That's in the thumbnail. Kind of crazy, huh? How it looks. Yeah. So, and it was heated up there. It was warm. It wasn't cold and frigid down here. And then as soon as we were done hanging out up there and had to come down, and came down and hit the wall and went straight into it. And it just kept going and going and going. That fog. Now, I was told wherever this fog is visiting, be aware that it makes you feel lethargic. It gives you confusion. It messes with your memory of your mind. Yeah. Just be aware of that. So you want to kind of keep yourself up on some good intake of some wonderful things. All right. So I picked this up in there. I'm so happy. It has spirals on it. And I got some oud. Yes. Love that. So let's dive into the medicine of the day and get ourselves started. And taking a nice deep breath. Welcome into the portal of 1212, the Trinity, the Holy Trinity of itself. We are going to anchor in deep into that space. Breathe that in, settle in. Exhale that out. Breathe in again deeply. Exhale it out. Breathe. Bring awareness to your breath. Bring awareness to the beautiful Trinity light, ball of light right above your head, right above the crown. See that energy as it just expands, as it drops down into the third eye, and it moves down into the throat. Feel it coming down into the sacred heart. And here, breathe in deeply, exhale it out, and settle into the self and be present. I am present within the sacred heart of myself. I am connected to this divine source. I am connected to my higher self. I am connected to that Christ consciousness that lives within me. Breathe that in. Allow this energy to drop down into the solar plexus, down into the sacral, down into the root. As it drops down into the root, let it travel on down the legs, down beneath the feet, into the earth chakra. And from here, allow it to drop down into the water chakra. That beautiful water star. Breathe that in. And take a moment to reflect on any messages that you gathered from your dream journey last night. Think about the journey. What were some of the messages? Did you notice any messages today? Drop into that space. What was the message? Bring awareness to your breath and come back into the center of self. Allow yourself to just be. What is the rebel within you? What is the message of the rebel? Bring awareness to your fingertips and to your toes and to your eyes and open them at a gentle gaze. Be present. What is the rebel within you? What is the rebel? And then how do you see the rebel What is the resurrection message that we need to look at? So first, the sacred rebel of the self, as we move into this Trinity energy, what is the resurrection? And from there, what have we forgotten? Now keep in mind these reads are activational to get you to look at something, to change something, to release something, whatever that may be. And I'm hoping I can get through this without being disturbed by maintenance coming over to put some lights in. Because of the energy that comes through the plasmic light, your electrical appliances, car batteries, everything is getting a supercharge and will literally just blow it out. So be aware of that. Remember what I was saying last year about the car fobs, your key fobs? Keep that in mind. Okay, keep thinking about what the rebel is inside of you. What is the rebel? Okay, the rebel. We have restore and replenish, number 38. This is very interesting. Restore and replenish, number 38. Where are you feeling like your energy has just been depleted? What's depleting your energy? The resurrection for it is the arrival, number 1. Wow. So 3 and an 8 makes 11, and then we have a 0, 1, the arrival. Where are you needing to arrive at? We have carnations. They look like carnations, beautiful flowers. But what is the arrival? So if you need to restore and replenish and we move into the arrival is stepping us into let's take a look, see. Celebration of life. Celebration of life is the arrival. It symbols the birth and the act of giving birth of an arrival of a joyous occasion. So what is the birth of the self? After you go through your restore and replenish, what is depleting? And what do you need to give birth to? Okay, that's the energy we're looking at. What have you forgotten? The cycles, number 37. What are the cycles that you're looking at? What's the cycles? The cycles are speaking to change is good. So what do you want to change? Are you feeling the need to change? Are you feeling the need to step forward? Are you feeling the need to arrive? Where do you need to arrive at? Okay, when we step into the crystal grids, we are channeling the Black Phantom Quartz, number 17. What are you channeling? Are you hearing the messages? Now, if you're in fogged area, you have to remember, you can't just be walking out there in that fog with nothing on your head, because that's particles that gets onto your hair and glue and your face. If you are washing your face with your product and you notice a dullness, you need to take a little bit of baking soda and wash your face off first. You're going to feel the difference immediately. And then your product will work even better. So, because you don't have, think about it, the mist stuff attached to your face. Okay? So, the Black Phantom Quartz brings in channeling and transmitting grounding. So, we're looking at Black Phantom Quartz, kyanite quartz, and tourmaline. So remember last night we were talking about the crossroads. What is the crossroads that we're looking at? Here we're being guided to look at what needs to be restored, what needs to be replenished, what are we giving birth to, what are the cycles that we're stepping through, are we listening to the messages? The runes comes out and says we need to cleanse and move into hops. Not hops, excuse me, hyssop. Move into hyssop. So in that medicine, when we look at that, we're looking at cleanse. Let me find it. Where is it? Here it is, number 103. Okay, so the medicine, remember these cards activate with their own wordings. So this is 2 runes put together that gives you the cleanse, release, banish, restore. Look at that. Healing, letting go, purify, absolve, removal, exorcism. So when you're out and about and you feel kind of like a weird energy after you've been traveling in any kind of foggy stuff, you just say, anything that's attached to me that is non-divine, you must leave. I do not consent to your energy. So this is all about that cleanse, the sacred space. Hyssop is about purifying one's aura and surrounding. It also banishes negativity and restoring balance. So this one, it works with that banishment. And the symbol of the rune works with banishing lower energies. And it also brings in healing and purity of the sunlight. So what a neat symbol to work with. Okay. Then the star codes for today is showing us alliance number 56 with the conjunction of an alliance. And then the 4th house is bringing it home. Now, I want you to notice something. This is a 6 energy. That 5 and 1 makes a 6. This is a 6 energy, the 4 and the 2. So it is definitely the home. Not just your physical home, but your spiritual home. Bringing that into balance, bringing that into fruition for the self. So what is the rebel telling you to do about being restored and replenished? And then what is the arrival into that? And then you have the plant of hyssop and channeling. So in your journaling today, sit in that place. What needs to be restored? Where are you feeling like your energy is being lost? Or what cycle is repeating itself and you're like, I'm over it. Okay? This is where we're diving into that Trinity. And in this Trinity moment, what are the 3 things that you want that would support you? How do you want to be supported mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally? Those are the levels of the 4. But in our mind, body, and spirit, what's that Trinity effect for you? And are you willing to surrender and step out of the cycle that no longer sustains you? so that you can get restored and replenished. So this work that we're doing is literally looking at things with a fine tooth comb and digging in there and saying, okay, hey, I do need to restore. I've been feeling like I'm running on empty. I'm feeling like I'm always going all the time. I feel like I never have time to myself. Where do you need to get that time for yourself? Do you need to just like take time out and just do, I don't know, a nice mineral bath with some geranium so it can balance you out, soothe the soul, bring in soothing for your energy? I'm telling you, when we went up into that sunny area coming out of the wall of fog, that sun was intense. And we haven't had that sunlight down here for 2 weeks. So to hear people say the same thing was, there was another couple shopping in the store and they said, yeah, we got to go back into the fog. I said, oh yeah, we're right there with you. So just knowing how people are feeling when that fog comes in. But here's the medicine. We rise above that frequency because it's a low frequency. So by saying I don't consent to the frequency of the mist that's artificial, I am more than that. I rise above that. My energy frequency is connected to divine source. This is not divine. Period. That starts cutting those levels, those energies off. But let me tell you, people that are not aware that they can override it emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, override the energy of the fog, they are coming out confused. They're driving erratical. Some are not clear where they're going. And their thoughts, the mind is being descrambled. It's like scrambling it up. So be aware of that when you are out and about and if you should be visited by the fog. Kind of eerie, huh, when you say the fog. They made movies about the mist and they made movies about the fog. There's something always lurking in the fog. It's never just plain old fog. It always has intention, doesn't it? All right, lovelies, that's the message of the day. Be good to yourselves. I'm going to keep these short and straight to the point. And work on your hyssop and your cleanse. This is perfect. That cleanse. Get that cleanse in. And you don't have to go crazy about it, but as you are just doing something gentle for the body to release things, toxins and stuff, that's a perfect thing. Pineapple juice is so good. Pineapple juice, it has its own natural bromelain in it. And bromelain is one of those things that helps with pain, is an enzyme. It also, pineapple, the minute when you drink it, goes after parasites, kills them instantly. Okay? So just know that. Taking in that time to cleanse. Now, if you're going to work with hyssop, I would highly suggest you research that and understand all the aspects of hyssop. So tomorrow we're going to step into calling in flower essence for the body and bringing that in for support, because that's going to be a 13 day. That 13 day is sacred to us as women. So we're going to use that. Hey, lovely, welcome on in. So everyone, I want you to enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me here on our first portal day. Take this time to call in what this energy feels like for you in the holiness of itself. Light your candle. Have your candle lit and ready. Get into that place where you need to be. Spend time with yourself. Winter time for us right now, unless you're on the other side of the planet where you're getting the summer, winter is all about stillness. It's all about that being still, listening, being quiet. It's not about rushing around and making yourself distressed. It's all about being in the quiet. And by the way, I want to say thank you to all of you that follow me here. And you come and partake in my videos. You listen to me ramble on about the world. Thank you so much. I hit 900 videos yesterday. 900 videos I've been making since I've been here in 2018. 900 videos. Amazing, isn't it? They sent me some kind of, YouTube sent me some kind of, oh, you're doing so good and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, how am I supposed to feel about your little emails that you send me when I know that you are shadow banning me? Shadow banning. Yeah, 900 videos. Can you believe it? 900 videos of me saying something and talking about things, bringing the truth of that in. 900 videos. So tomorrow, we're going to make that work for us, and we're going to jump into some flower essences and calling that in. So tomorrow, make sure you have your candle lit. Make sure you have a glass of water, because I'm going to ask you to call in the spirit of the flower essence so that we can work with that. So we'll try to dive into how we're feeling. We might even add some aroma soma on top of that. I think that would be a good thing to put on top of it too. Okay, so this is a peeling of layers, getting in there, getting things off our chest. 2025 was good for some people. 2025 wasn't good for a lot of people. And now going forward into the Gregorian time of the year, which the beginning of the year, it's not the new year. Spring is when it starts, when the light returns. When you know, you know. That's all there is to it. When you know, you know. And isn't it something when we take in that wisdom, we move forward in our lives, we get the medicine, we learn about ourselves, we learn about what's real, what's not real. Once you know, you know. Because then if you try to go back or try to act like you don't know it, you can't pretend. You can't pretend like you don't know the truth of it. And I really hate the fact sometimes that some people really think I should be kind of functioning and thinking like them, but I can't, because I know the truth of stuff. I know the truth of certain words when I say them, what it's really going to. And this is what it means. Once you know, you know. So you start editing out certain things that you're not going to be saying, so you're not giving credence to that energy anymore. What is the most powerful thing that we can do? Here it comes. Powerful thing that we can do, and how you get rid of something. So one of the things I saw on, I think it was YouTube, they were talking about the ice cream. Certain brand ice creams are no longer ice cream. They're frozen desserts, but they're not the ice cream. And everyone is showing what it looks like now. It doesn't taste right, and da 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 da. How do you get rid of people who are no longer being held accountable for what they do? You don't buy their products. You ignore them. You don't cater to their useless product anymore. And that's how we're going to make change. Every time when someone is going way off to artificial land and expecting us to think that that's okay, the more we say no to something, the more we are creating the change. The more we're taking the power out of their hands. And that's what we have to do if we want to have the world that we truly want to live in. That's all there is to it. How do you get rid of an artificial lower God? You don't pay attention to it anymore. You don't pray to it anymore. You don't worship it anymore. And they simply disappear. That was a huge message in American Gods on the first season and the final episode of that first season before they went into season 2 and 3. That was their main fear, is to be forgotten, to no longer be needed, to no longer feel like they are a part of the bigger picture. Okay? Nobody's needing them. So what do? They create chaotic energy to make you pray to change it so that these energies can feel as though you need them. That's only for the lower beings. But with the divine beings, they don't ask you to worship them. They don't ask you to pray. They just ask you to remember who you are and that everything is connected. Period. Doesn't get any easier than that. But when we get down here, it gets all, so now we have to keep peeling off layers to keep doing what we need to do. So if you have access to get into that sun today, please do. I couldn't get enough of it. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. When it first when it first hit me, I was like, ah, that's so bright. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what that feels like. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Interesting. I never watched that show, but I have know what you're talking about. Yeah, that show, American Gods, the first season is truth on truth. How they say it, how they put it out there. They give it all to you right there. They're telling you truth on truth. And they're showing themselves as the gods that they are. And then they talk about the tech god. I don't know, what is that tech god? Our cell phones, all our techie stuff that we do, that's the new god. It requires you to be with it, look at it, to scroll through hours of time, giving up your energy to it. It requires that. It's the new God. So when we break away from the artificial of that and we reclaim ourselves, we reclaim our sovereignty, we reclaim our divinity, we stand in that, we cut that energy off. And that's one of the things that we really have to stay in, that energy field of how we're flowing with that. Okay? Stop giving your energy all the way to these devices and start really looking at what it was like back in the days when we were priestess and priests, and how we would go and be in the elements, and we'd call down the moon, and we'd call down the rain and the element. We call in the fire, and we stand in that energy. We just call it in. We would feel it. We became one with it. Some of us can't do that anymore. You have to really work at it now. And here's the thing. That way of being then was all natural. That was the organic way. The way we are now, how we constantly are, no. We got to make this work. We got to sit in that element of ourselves and call in that divine magic of ourselves and really understand what it feels like to be truly connected to something that doesn't require you to change yourself to be with it. It loves you just the way you are, with all your flaws, all your whatever you're doing in your life, your picks and the stuff that goes around it. It doesn't require that, because it's a part of you. It's living through you. And on this portal of this 12-12 energy, then with a 9, so you got 3, 3. Okay? The Trinity, then you got the 9. 3, 3, 3. You got all those 3s. Then you got 6. So if we really want to get creative, we can say this is a 3-6-9 day. What are we creating? What are we stepping into? We've been out of balance for so long, we have to get back in balance. And the only way we're going to get back in balance is to shed all this artificial crap off of beliefs and stuff that we have been programmed with, and say, I don't want to do that anymore. That's not me. And this is where it's going to get real. People that you know, they're going to look at you differently. You're not going to be able to hang out with them anymore. And that's okay. They need time to get themselves together also. But that doesn't mean you need to stay in that energy, in that lower vibration to fix with them. It doesn't mean that at all. Okay? Be out in the sun. Yes, nature, enjoying the birds, sitting in the grass, but now it's pesticides and pests and crimes. Yes, ain't that the truth? so much imbalance. Yes, that is so true. It's like, it's kind of like the the sacredness to have some peace and quiet, and to just have some peace and quiet. You have to even work at that now, because you got too many people plugged in. They got to make noise every 5 seconds because their energy requires to make noise, because they don't know what peace and quiet is. They don't know what it's like to just go sit your ass down in the park and just be quiet. It's too harmful for some people because their mind is all about being chaotic, going. Gotta be something, gotta be listening to something, gotta be scrolling on something, it's the gotta be. But what if the gotta be is God and you have to sit with yourself? How many of us would survive some of those things that were challenges 50, 60, 70 days on an island somewhere? You're the only one there. You can't scroll on anything. You can't use any laptop. You have to be totally in the ebb and flow of that. Some of us will lose our minds because we're not used to not being inundated with outside stuff. Something, even just when you are quiet in your own sacred space and you're hearing the waves, the EMF wave sound, that shh. I hate that sound. It's just a constant shh. And then sometimes there's no sound going on. It just disappears. But then when they're really running it, you hear that shh. Get real quiet. You hear that shh. That white noise sound. There you go. All right, lovelies. Be good to yourself. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to dive into some flower essences. Now, if you have flower essences that you like to work with, please bring them, and I'll look them up into my book. I have a big old binder that talks about different flower essences and what they work with on an energetic level. Why are you attracted to that one? Why are you gravitating to that one? I went down a rabbit hole yesterday just learning more about homeopathics and how a lot of our cell salts are aligned with our body to help with healing different things. And one of the cell salts that I got, I said, oh my gosh, I got this purely by intuition because I just felt drawn to it. And it was right on the money what my body needed. So pay attention to those. Why am I in here? Why am I getting this? I need to get this. Get that, because your body is looking forward for that. So keep in mind, tomorrow we will pull another rebel. We will pull another resurrection card to go into that. And what have we forgotten? And the oracle of the runes. But then we're going to talk about flower essence and tie that onto it. So tonight, here's your homework. You're welcome. You're welcome. Belly time. Okay, this is a time you can do some good oiling to the belly, to the navel area, spending time nourishing the belly. You can take a cotton swab, and not a cotton swab, but a piece of cotton, put different kind of medicines on it that you want, different plant flower essence, oils, different essential oils. None that are burning, like cinnamon and clove, and too much lemon, too much orange can be irritating to the skin. So pay attention to that. Read your books and apply that with your base oils of your castor oils or your avocado oils or your olive oils. But make sure you smell your oils before you use them and make sure they're not rancid. Pay attention when you're going out and buying olive oil. Did it come from one source? Actually, I should say that about any oils that you get. Did it come from one source? Because if it came from Spain, then it stopped off somewhere in Norway. Then it made a trip over to Italy somewhere, and then came over to America, and then finally is in your state. Okay, so they have 4 stops. So there's 4 different batches of oils mixed in it. It just didn't come straight from Greece and that was it. It wasn't just bottled up grease, that was it. Look at the back. You'll see where it went and what kind of oil was added to it. Yeah. Doesn't it just make you sad that we have to do all this work? All right, lovelies. I will see you tomorrow. We'll dive deep into that. Get everything ready for yourself, but mainly be love with yourself. Enjoy your Trinity. Enjoy the Trinity energy. Be in it. Okay? All right, lovely. See you tomorrow. Much love. Thank you for joining me here on Be So Light. 900 videos. What was I thinking? Guess gotta make 900 more. Bye.